probably should put on my headset. That's always a good idea. Hope everyone is doing good today. Let's see if everything looks like. Okay, yep, it looks like we are live all across everywhere. So yeah, we got a lot to discuss. I'm hoping that maybe some people are going to make the decision to join us live, but it's, it's always possible that is not going to happen, and that's okay. One more invite here. For some people, it was a little last minute, so it's hard to expect people to all have a chance to go in. So the first thing I want to go ahead and get out of the way here. Oh, yes. I got to get my headset on here. I don't have it on right. That was kind of the one thing I didn't really do, I don't think, here. I might be connected on my phone, but I don't think I'm connected here. Or maybe I am. No, I guess I am connected. I'm gonna check one thing here. Okay, yeah. All right. Yep, I've got sound coming out through. So basically, leave it to me. If I can hack somebody off, I'll hack somebody off. So I've been really enjoying having some fun with Monty a little bit. Yeah, I know I shouldn't. I shouldn't engage, but he cracks me up. He just cracks me up. And he's joining in on the whole theories about Paul Pelosi and what's happened, and the right, my dude, the right. I voted for Trump, but I'm having a hard time understanding why they get so much crap just wrong all the time. Just all the time. And so, yeah. So he is one of the people, in my opinion, just not getting his facts right. And I was commenting such on his show. And of course, he's like, well, I've watched some of your content and it just isn't all that great and blah, 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 blah. Have you watched? Hey, Lord Racer. Thanks for joining us on Twitch. I appreciate it. I am doing good. I hope you are as well. It's exciting. Has he remote viewed you yet? No, he hasn't. He has claimed that he got my phone number and called me. But here's the deal. I failed to pick up. Awesome. But why didn't he leave a message? Like, I have no proof anywhere on my phone that he ever tried to call me. Just never. So, whatever. So, good luck with that remote viewing stuff that you supposedly do on occasion. I mean, who knows? Right? Who knows? But as I was mentioning, have you ever seen his broadcast here? And he doesn't believe me that that I've made any videos, and all he has to do is just Google my IMDb page. Probably just Google my name in general. But when he broadcasts things, this is what he does. I don't understand. This is what he does. And I need somebody to explain it to me.
All right. So
what the fuck is this?
What we're going to do is let's go back to the tweeters. Let's lay down a tweet for live show. Okay.
Is it hammer time?
Now,
I don't know. It should be.
Here.
But see, like, he's like the rest of us.
And get a large version.
He doesn't
of it.
Use like StreamYard like a lot of us does.
Now,
he just uses I think the regular YouTube thing
about things.
And so the way he has his camera set up, I mean, look, but yet my streams aren't professional, and there is no way I ever made any movies. They were short films, and they were not $1 million things, but come on. I mean, come on. I don't know what to tell you. So, yeah. I hope you guys have plenty to drink. I just got me some Pepsi. I was supposed to go to this funeral viewing thing today, and I just wasn't feeling up for it. I have had multiple uncles pass away. He doesn't scare me. I don't really understand his popularity. I'm doing kind of a deep dive on the guy, and I kind of think that he disappears every once in a while and then comes back. I don't know. Lord Racer, I'm sorry that I gotta look into how to get when I decide to stream on multiple platforms, including Twitch. I gotta look at whether or not I can get it set up to explain. We're going to be talking specifically about Pelozi and what people like Montograph, and what people also like Viva Fry get wrong about what is going on. No. We are not reaching out and touching anybody. I do not need anybody to do anything to anyone on my behalf. There needs to be no reaching out and touching of anyone. Oh, goodness. All right, so why don't we I think I'm going to start here with Viva Fry. I guess apparently he did post something that kind of got him in trouble with YouTube. And I guess he doesn't necessarily think that some of the things the right is saying is necessarily true. But he, I don't know, weird. It's weird at the same time. He kind of is encouraging people to kind of invest in these theories, and I will try to resist the urge to scream. If you haven't heard yet, a lot of people are trying to say that there was some kind of gay lover thing. I don't know. Maybe Paul Pelosi is gay. I don't fucking know. Honestly, I don't really know that I fucking care. I mean, it just doesn't matter to me. But at any rate, that's one of the things that they are saying. And they're saying a lot of things that don't add up, that I feel like I can kind of explain away just using logic. And every once in a while, yeah, I know people have issues with Big Talk and Google, but every once in a while, Google is your friend, and it's amazing what you can learn about things when you Google it, so that you don't look like an idiot. But nobody wants to do that. So, all right. So here's Viva.
Is that better? That's better.
Every once in a while, he has to fool with his setup like I do.
Okay. That should be better. Is that better, people? And I don't think it's the mic. I think it's just the way I set up the room when I was USB live. No, because it's a problem with the mic. It has been a mic issue the entire time. I'm not rebooting this.
Okay, now it's going to have gotten better for two reasons. My apologies, everybody. I'm an idiot. I went from using the Mac built-in mic to using the camera mic, which I've never used before.
Don't do that.
There's a $5 super chat from Lander15 says, your audio is horrible. I think I fixed it. Is it better now? I think we fixed it.
Yes.
I want to pretend that these are things that I do on purpose.
Let's just all laugh at him for a little bit.
To like make people
See, it's
generate...
not just me that sometimes has the unprofessionalism.
Is it better now? Sorry about that. It's a good thing I didn't get into my Twitter extravaganza. Wrong mic. Wrong mic. Mic is not on. Viva, it's not the mic. Panicked. You are not using the correct mic. Mic is wrong. You might see me sweating through my shirt again, everybody. My New Zealand bank won't let me rumble rant, but it will let me super chat. So we'll give you a couple of bucks here. See you on Rumble. Thank you very much, Jenny Partridge. And look at that beautiful dog staring at the frog.
To some
mic is off.
Let
me just go to the bottom and say, got it. Okay. Jeez Louise.
But in some ways, I'm not your typical conservative either. Like there's a lot of theories that the right are trying to press about Paul Pelosi and that attack that I just don't agree with. And I am probably one of the few Trump supporters who thinks there's a possibility that Trump legitimately lost. Just I say it is what it is now. And I also had no concerns.
Gotta get out. Gotta get here with that hair. I'm married. Okay, sorry. Thank you. One of these days, I'll get it smooth.
Come on.
Can you do a segment on the big chess lawsuit, Hans Niemann versus Magnus Carlsen, etc.? Absolutely.
I didn't think this was going to take.
That's fantastic, and I know what's going on. That is one he might be getting. People are going to believe this crazy conspiracy. What I can tell you is one of the rules of Twitter. Okay. Which rule is it?
The rules of Twitter.
Who the hell knows? They don't tell you. What should you do? Delete the tweet, and it's an admission. It's an admission of wrongdoing that I broke the rules. I don't know which rule I broke. allegedly, because they don't tell you when they lock you out of your account.
I usually like
All
to
that I
consider
can tell
myself
you
in
is
the middle.
This was the tweet. I'll get into this just a touch before Barnes gets in here because I don't want to talk too much about the Pelosi incident without Barnes. There's this individual named Matt Gertz.
So this is the tweet that he got in trouble
He's a reporter.
for.
Put out a 16-thread tweet with himself about now a whole bunch of right-wing Republican extremists, whatever, are going to believe a whacked-out conspiracy theory because Elon Musk put out a tweet that said, there might be more to the story, linking to an article in the Santa Monica Observer, which might be I won't say misinformation website. It might be an entertainment website,
Come on.
not National Geographic, not National.
Let's get to
Lampoon,
the
National
point where
Enquirer.
I can.
It might be,
scream at
it might be a
my
National
collective shit.
Enquirer type. In 2016, the Santa Monica Observer and the same journalist who wrote the piece that Elon Musk linked to wrote a piece that Hillary Clinton died in 2016, and it's a body double that has since been replaced for her. Some people might believe it. I don't judge them. Everyone's entitled to believe what they want to believe, and if it doesn't hurt other people, in a meaningful sense, not in a how dare you say that sense. The guy puts out a 16-thread tweet
I
with
am
himself.
a Christian.
How people are going to believe this
So,
crazy
I mean,
conspiracy
that
theory.
could have very
And then
well
go, just,
played
tweets,
a role.
replies to himself, replies to himself, replies to himself. I had responded to him 2 times before in two separate tweets. And then I just retweet his tweet and I say, a 16-tweet thread with himself explaining everything that happened before police released body cam footage or disclose where they found DePop's clothing, because that's what I want to know. And Matt Gertz accuses others of conspiracy theory disinformation. Massive events will generate massive discussion, period.
Absolutely.
And my punctuation was correct. It was the next sentence. It was clear.
Well, yeah,
That's
these
my
things,
tweet.
I mean, they always
That's my
do.
tweet. Violating one of our rules. This happened, by the way. The tweet got flagged at 4:25 Eastern time. And the tweet I published.
I mean, there is absolutely no reason that he should have gotten flagged for this tweet. Unfortunately, he kind of uses it to fuel the fires. I feel like that there's more to the story than what there is. I would assume that there might be some body camera footage. I don't know what the rules are in California about body cam footage, body cameras, and how often police are wearing them, and whether or not in all districts they're required to. This should have definitely been a case where somebody did have body cameras on. I don't know why it even really matters where they found DePate's clothing. I have no idea why any of that matters. It doesn't mean that he didn't still show up in his underwear.
Published the tweet at 4:25. It was within 30 seconds.
I mean, it doesn't
Maybe
really
within a minute.
change anything at all.
Oh, okay. That's the tweet. Anyone want to take a wild guess as to what rule that can possibly, in any realm of the universe, violate?
It shouldn't have violated.
I'm open to suggestions. So it says, hold on. It says, what do you do? What can you do? Well, you can delete the tweet. By clicking delete, you acknowledge that your tweet violated the Twitter rules. I don't have enough middle fingers to say how I feel about that recommendation.
Yeah.
We interviewed James O'Keefe, and he said, the biggest mistake of his life, or the thing that he regrets the most, was having borne false witness to himself. Ordinarily, if I could see the tweet violating a rule, I might be inclined to delete it, not waste 2 hours or 2 days or whatever to get the account back. Load of crap. I'm not deleting that tweet. I'm not acknowledging that I broke any rules, because that is something that the powers that be will hold against you forever. What's very interesting is how that tweet, innocuous as it is, because it's innocuous, I'm not
Yeah,
making
it is
any
very innocuous.
positive affirmations. I'm not making any name calling, harassment, targeted doxing.
I was
whatever.
raised in the Pentecostal
It's
denomination.
innocuous and pointing to the fact that, in as much as someone wants to criticize Elon Musk for having shared an article, which he might not really have known what the Santa Monica Observer was, in as much as, people want to float conspiracy theories, and I'm saying conspiracy theories, and we'll get into it when Barnes gets here. The idea that, mainstream media, within 24 hours, they don't even know where the guy's pants are.
So?
They can say that right-wing extremists, that this is the result of political rhetoric, right-wing, far-right political vitriol. Load of crap. I'm, you know what? Let's talk about it until Barnes gets here.
Of course.
Paul Pelosi
Might as well.
Was apparently
so now
violently
we're
attacked
getting to the actual point
what is
of
being
what
described as an intruder into his house at 2 a.m, who broke through a window with a hammer, allegedly, as the reports are currently going, was heard saying, "Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy?" or is alleged to have said, "Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy?" Paul Pelosi ends up in the hospital.
But saying alleged, you are
allegedly with a
that
fractured
you think
skull
that it
and I
didn't
believe a
happen
broken bone on his arm or injuries to his arm. Underwent surgery, is expected to make a full recovery. Those are the initial details. Some are calling it an attempted political assassination. And then details come out that the individual, there was a police call placed where it's the reporting person,
have an article
RP,
about that
saying
that goes into more detail.
Someone's in my house. I don't know who he is, but his name is David and he's a friend. That audio recording on the police recording was actually, from what I can tell, deleted afterwards. I'm going to bring Barnes in so that we can get it. Robert?
Okay, so I don't know anything about it being deleted, but let's pull up an article that says a little bit about this. People are wanting to make a big deal over the fact that he referred to the person as a friend. And I have read articles that went into a little bit about that, but this is from the Guardian. House Speaker's husband told alleged intruder that he needed to use a restroom and spoke in code to alert authorities of the problem. The husband of Speaker Pelosi was attacked. You know that. Saved his life after secretly fell from help in the bathroom, according to Politico. Pelosi told the alleged intruder, identified by authorities as David DePape. I'm not sure that I'm pronouncing that right. That he needed to use the restroom. He used his phone was charging in the bathroom at that time. How many of us have left our phones in the bathroom? So it was charging in the bathroom at the time. So he went in there to just call 911 and remained connected. Heather Grimes was the emergency service dispatcher that answered the call. He spoke in code to alert authorities that there was a problem. What's going on? Why are you here? What are you going to do to me? Pelosi reportedly said while on the call. Suspicious Grimes then notified police for a wellness check. Okay. So, here he suffered the fractured skull, as well as injuries to his hands and right arms during the attack. He underwent surgery and expected to recover. Some have questioned, exactly when the hammer attack happened. Officers arrived to the Pelosi home and saw Pelosi and DePape holding a hammer. The suspect pulled the hammer away from Mr. Pelosi and violently assaulted him with it. Our attackers immediately tackled him, disarmed him, took him into custody, requested emergency backup, and rendered medical aid. Okay. Here's the thing. I know that in the call, I wonder if Politico has it better here about what he supposedly said. Let's see here. because he did reportedly tell them that, you know, there was a man in his house. He did not know him, but that he was a friend, and his name is David. So he's telling them two contradictory things. And here is kind of my position on it. First of all, the fact that he let him use the bathroom, you would be surprised some of the strange things that have happened to people who have been kidnapped, had someone break into their home. I was once reading an article, it's been years ago, where a woman was like, he was forcing him, guy broke into her home, was forcing her to go with him, and she asked to put her pants on before they left. She had been asleep, and I don't know if it was just wearing shorts or whatever, but he said, you know, she could put her pants on, but don't bother to zip them up. Because implying, I guess, that he was going to be taking them off, so just make it easier for me and don't bother to zip them up. But you would be surprised that sometimes you're able to do things to stall for time. And that, to me, clearly, my logical mind says that's what was happening here. But as he's going to get in, I think as he's about to get into here, not a lot of people see it that way.
Person opened the door to let the police in, and both the man and Paul Pelosi were at least one was in their underwear.
I'm not sure about the third person thing. I don't know if that's been clarified. That might be true. I have not seen. I don't think I've seen that article.
Both had hammers, apparently, but maybe it turns out that only Paul had a hammer, and the man grabbed the hammer from him. The man was in his underwear.
Attempting to use
we don't know
the
where his
hammer.
clothes
He thought
are.
he needed it for self-defense.
We don't know who let the person in. Apparently, the initial dispatch was a wellness check on Paul Pelosi.
Yes.
And then it turns out that the assailant, the accused, still innocent, you know, legally innocent, is a Berkeley resident, mentally unwell individual who had contacts with nudist individuals. Himself was a nudist, hemp jewelry making,
which is why
individual
he was
who resided in Berkeley.
In his underwear.
He's in jail. Paul Pelosi has had a surgery and is expected to make a full recovery.
Because he's mentally unwell and he's a
people
nudist.
Are running with Robert, help the world make sense for us. Did I miss any salient facts or allegations? Because the facts are not yet known. The individual, 42 years old, Canadian, from British Columbia, moved to Berkeley, is clearly mentally unwell by all accounts. His girlfriend, Gypsy something or other, is a nudist. Apparently, she's in jail. Allegedly, I'm not sure if we know the reasons for which she's in jail. The guy allegedly broke into Paul Pelosi's home at 2:40 or 2 whatever in the morning, either in his underwear or got in his underwear afterwards. There was a wellness check. There was a call to the police.
Because he called 911. That's why there was the wellness
got on his
check.
phone. Police were let in by a third party. The man allegedly lunged at, struck Paul Pelosi, and that's it. Did I miss any relevant facts there?
Well, we don't know all the facts.
This is my favorite part.
There's some terrible memes in our live chat at vivabarneslaw.locals.com. Visual images you won't be able to lock out anytime soon. But yeah, I mean, this story smelled like Juicy Smollett's kind of story. In other words, that not saying that Pelosi faked it. It's just saying that the media narrative, the Democratic narrative.
It's like you can't compare this at all, in my opinion, with what happened with Jussie Smollett or Smollett. Some people have started saying Smollett. I always thought it was Smollett. But anyway, to me, there's no comparison between the two. There was details about that made a whole lot less more sense than what this does. You just got to use your head and use some common sense. But
narrative makes no sense. So the Democrats jumped on this story right away, not as a problem of crime being epidemic in San Francisco,
which is what they should have done. They should have ran with it as being a problem
some
with crime.
oddball incident.
Absolutely.
But it clearly must be right-wingers break into the house as an extension of January 6th to attack poor Paul Pelosi.
And nudist right-wingers?
Like, in San Francisco at 2:30 in the morning? It's like, I don't think so. So then, as Harmeet Dillon pointed out, and as others have pointed out, there's intense security around Pelosi's house. Almost all. I mean, she explained that it was tough to get service of process because of how intense the security is. There's been no explanation about that. There apparently is video camera footage. None of it has been released or disclosed. There's been contradictory stories out of the San Francisco Police Department. The initial story was that there was a third person present. Now they're saying, no, there wasn't a third person present. But, I mean, the wellness check thing doesn't...
This is stupid. Has Trump apologized for radicalizing the attacker? I'm assuming this person is being facetious, but who knows? Who knows?
Doesn't make any sense. Why somebody else would be in their underwear doesn't make any sense. The only footage we've seen of any glass being broken is where the glass is coming out, not going in.
Oh my God!
I'll say what I've said about that theory is that I mean, look, I've never broken into a house before, but I can imagine if you smash a hammer through the glass, you can get it pointed through, and then to pull it back, you can pull the window out. I can see that. I wouldn't place too much weight on that, but. Robert, for people who are saying, in response to the security query, people are saying, well, Nancy Pelosi was out of town. It's like, the residence is not.
Now, I don't know what happened with the security, but to me, there was obviously a breakdown in the security somewhere if he was able to break in. That's not something we've never not heard happening before. It happened with the Capitol Police on January 6th. You know, there was some major break security there. You know, they didn't call the National Guard like they did. But there has been so much said about this freaking glass breaking. And I just kind of had this sense that I'm pretty sure that sometimes when you break glass, some of it falls inside, some of it falls outside the window. I just kind of had this feeling that that's probably the way that it works, and maybe a variety of factors can influence that. I don't know, but I mean, I was thinking that he's a lawyer. It seems like he should kind of know this, but you know, this is one of those times where big tech, aka Google, is your friend. Somebody asked this question on Google. How can you tell if a window is broken from the inside rather than from the outside? And crime scene analysis. And I'm going to be able to put that in the chat for some of y'all. All right, so I got the link there for you directly to this. The analysis of direction of force against a pane of glass was first analyzed by S.N. Matchwitcheff, director of the crime laboratory in Dessa, Ukraine, Russia, and first published in 1929. The experiments were the result of examining a crime scene where a drunken, disorderly man was reportedly killed by his son at their home. The suspect's son had claimed that an intruder had broken into the home through a kitchen window and had killed his father. His work had focused upon experimental breaking of about glass breaking. Oh, honey, he's now trying to say that there was obviously a child. We'll get to that. We'll get to that a little bit. Now, where was I? Riddle me this? My goodness. The suspect's son had claimed that an intruder broke in, breaking of dozens of glass panes limited the kitchen window. He made several observations from his experience. First, the direction of force cannot be determined from observing the amount of glass on one or other side of the direction of force due to the elastic, don't ask me to understand what some of this means, elastic supercooled nature of glass where, upon breaking, depending upon the nature, speed, and angle of the breaking mechanism, glass shards pieces may move in either direction. Imagine that! Science, people! It's amazing! You're fine. I appreciate the interaction. Okay. Upon breaking a plate or sheet of glass will form radial fractures coming out from the point of impact, and if the breaking blow is strong enough, concentric fractures, huge words here on the Cheugy today, may also form to absorb the force of the blow. On the cut edge of the radical fractures, there will be stress lines called ridge lines forming that will arc across the cut edge of surface. These arced stress lines will form a sort of right angle to the rear of the direction of force. So if you go on reading through this, my understanding is that you have to look at the breaks themselves and the way that they broke in order to understand how it may have broken, and that it doesn't necessarily and so the way that it lands doesn't necessarily have anything to do with whether you were inside the house or outside the house. Shade Chaser on Rumble said, I was just watching the Salty Cracker, never listened to him before, wanted to check him out, and the theory here is Paul Pelosi was out drinking and trolling for guys, took one home, and they got in a fight. And this is the kind of nonsense that we are talking about. I just... I mean... Shade Chaser, I suppose that's not, out of the realms of possibility, because I don't know for sure whether or not Paul Pelosi is gay. Not sure why the internet, and particularly people on the right, are so obsessed with whether or not he's gay. I have no idea. But, I suppose that could happen, but again, I know that there's supposed to be a lot of security at their location, which at their home in San Francisco, which makes sense. But we've had times where security fails on a variety of situations, and so that's going to have to be one of the things that they're going to have to look at. Is they're going to look like, well, if security failed, where did it fail? Because honestly, really, nobody wants something like this to happen again. All right. So let's go on and see a little bit more here of what he had to say here about this. Like, Barnes shouldn't. I would think that Barnes would know more than what he does in regards to the, because he is a lawyer. I don't know that he's a criminal lawyer, so maybe he's never had to defend anybody on this. But I would think that if you're a lawyer or a cop, you've heard of these theories before about how it is that you have to determine why glass broke. And just, people are unbelievable. They're just unbelievable.
Not left unattended, unsecured while Pelosi's out of town. I mean, people can do a number of things to a property when Pelosi's out of town. Is that a wrong way to respond?
No, it's not.
I mean, put it this way. There's been no official confirmation that there was no security present. Right.
Yeah,
so
that's absolutely true.
And the thing with the glass is the doors don't even match, right? The talk is that he broke in through a sliding door. The doors we've seen photos of glass footage are not sliding doors. So was there something else going on? I mean, all of it. And this is the same Paul Pelosi who was recently arrested for DUI. So there's a lot of anomalies with this story. The attempt by the media and by Democrats to try to blame this on Republicans was just
immediately.
Yeah, immediately. I mean, Bob Woodward embarrassing himself on national TV, suggesting this. I mean, what a lazy.
Shade Chaser has some clarification. Not gay, but has something to do with his history of going out, getting drunk, driving, and maybe getting drugs too. We should map up with with what little is talked about the accused. Okay. That's fair. You know, it could turn out that he absolutely, for whatever reason, brought the guy home with him. You know, maybe we'll find that out. But I had this whole list. Well, I'll have a list of things that irritate me about this whole situation.
So-called investigative journalist. He's always really been a CIA boy, but that's another story for another day. Nothing about the story makes sense. At least the media narrative makes no sense at all. The Democratic narrative makes no sense at all. Trying to blame this, I mean, especially after there was a Republican that was attacked by that man who admitted he tried to run over him and kill him because of politics. That story was buried, while this story is highlighted, and the media's willingness to believe this nonsense is just that this is going to be an embarrassing story. Glenn Greenwald was pointing out there's just huge problem. He goes, first, so hold on. So a guy breaks into your house.
Yeah.
He's attacking you. And then in the middle of it, he says, yeah, go ahead and take a bathroom break.
Okay. We've discussed this before. Strange things sometimes happen in the midst of these situations. We don't know what kind of conversation they were having as of yet before he got attacked. All right. They may have been starting to have, you know, he's probably confronting him, demanding who he was. But again, I've read things about a woman convincing the man to let him put pants on before forced him to come with her, breaking in the middle of the night, things like that. Sometimes people are able to reason with their attacker and to get them to do things that allow them to stall. And as we read in the article, which apparently they have not seen, his phone was in the bathroom charging. And how often do so many of us use our phones in the bathroom and let them charge? Apparently not Barnes.
And Greenwald's like, I don't think so.
It's all for my number one question. And I'm wondering if this is why I got locked out of my Twitter account. Where are his clothes? Like, he either is alleged to have gone from wherever he lived to Paul Pelosi's house in his underwear, get through whatever security they did or did not have. And if they didn't have, let them say it, break into the house in his underwear, and then look for Nancy Pelosi, allegedly violently attack Paul. But, you know, Paul is so sneaky. He says, let me go to the bathroom. Or he took his clothes off in the house. Then I got questions.
He reasoned with the guy.
It's not clear when the assault actually took place, because at least the police report seemed to suggest that it took place. It was almost like when the cops arrived, that they're arguing over a hammer, and that Paul Pelosi has the hammer, then the other guy has the hammer, and then the guy, he attacks him in front of the police.
How does that not make sense?
Nothing about this makes sense. Now, San Francisco is a notoriously corrupt town. Pelosi's have extraordinary political influence in that town. So I don't think anybody has confidence that we'll get an honest police report out of this, or that we'll get an honest investigation into this. But something is clearly way, way off. But the political narrative that this was a Democratic political thing, is a Republican attack, is nonsense. I mean, they were trying to go through his blog, and they just decided to ignore all the leftist stuff, all the BLM stuff, all the nudist camp stuff, all that. There was even instructions apparently by the police to the press not to discuss the fact that he was the nudist guy that people actually were aware of. It's everything about this screams something else happened than the media Democratic narrative coming out of it. And my guess is it'll be something embarrassing.
there's all this other shit that they try to throw in. It's like, then you wonder why there are people who will not take you seriously. That's why.
About Paul Pelosi.
And I'll say this for everyone out there, like, this is a perfect example where one can explain the different spectrum of conspiracy theories. Some might say, I don't know, I haven't heard this yet, that it just never happened, Paul's faking his injuries. By all accounts, he was legit injured, fractured skull, by all accounts. Until that
in the hospital, etc.
So what was someone was raising, not an issue, but questions about the hospital that he went to. Had you heard
that I don't know about either. So, I mean, it's just a weird, everything about it's a weird story that suggests something else.
Cool.
And you know, Elon Musk tweeted about it, and then I guess he took in response to Hillary Clinton.
Sock is an actual
and even though he owns Twitter, apparently he took down his own tweet, and now Twitter's trying to suppress the story. So we'll see how it. But it just this will be a test for Musk. You know, Musk, now that he owns Twitter, this is the kind of story that needs full vetting. Again, an investigative journalist from the leans left, Glenn.
And I mean, that is something that's definitely going to be, there's going to be a lot of challenges for Musk in the days ahead. And I don't know if the left or the right is necessarily going to be happy with the way that he does anything. You're not going to make everyone happy all the time. Okay, a comment from Chase Stater. Thank you so much. From what I understand, the main reason the media story is not being believed is because no video has been released too. And calling the guy a Trump supporter without any support of that either. Yes. I haven't been following the story though. More interest in the suspect's arrest for the cold case for the Delphi murders. Oh, yeah. That I am hoping I'm hoping is going to be something that is going to be televised live. If it's not in a federal court, that case is going to be televised. Could potentially get televised. If you're not familiar with the Delphi murder, it was these two girls that were murdered. Oh gosh. It's been several years ago. I was actually thinking about that months back, and I was thinking that they probably found the murderer by now, but actually he was just arrested within the last week or so. And I think with the Waukesha trial and other things going on, it's kind of gotten riddle me this. Said 30 Saki was referring to as the one that Monty gives out as rewards. You're gonna have to tell me more about that. And then you have serious comments on Rumble. Just ignore me over here. Future of Evolutions wants to remind everyone, please subscribe to my Rumble's channel and this one, the Momo's channel. And this one too. Hit the Rumble button to help support this channel. So, if you don't want me to ignore you, riddle me this. Okay, you know what? Riddle me this. If you subscribe to Rumble, will I be less likely to ignore you? That's the riddle. That's the $1 million question. Oh, look at this. All right, so let's get back to this here. Where were we? Oh my freaking goodness.
Glenn Greenwald has said there's just huge flaws in this story. He said that
there's audience or questions.
Investigation because the things that just don't add up.
There's not huge flaws.
How he broke in doesn't add up. Why he's in his underwear doesn't add up. Why
because he's crazy. That's why he was in his underwear.
Why Pelosi has the hammer at one point doesn't add up. Why Pelosi's going to the bathroom to make the call before apparently
the wellness check is the very
wellness check one. Doesn't add up. None of it adds up. And I guess the call has been leaked, but I haven't listened to it. Oh my God! But what we know is there's got to be video footage around that home, and why isn't that video footage released yet? Something's on there that doesn't comport with the official narrative.
So
there's a funny one that said,
about not releasing video footage. This is a high-profile place, okay? It is the personal residence of Nancy Pelosi. They may eventually release stuff, but only if they can release things without compromising the story thus far, okay? If they can release the footage without compromising the level of security that they have, you see what I'm saying? Doesn't that make sense? If you just think about it logically, they don't want people knowing just how many cameras that they have. They don't want to be giving people an idea of where the cameras are. What is hard about that to understand? Why am I the only one that says, oh, gee, it makes sense for us not to immediately release any video footage because it could create security issues? Why is that so hard to understand? Somebody help me make sense of that, because I, for whatever reason, do not get it. So you're already subscribed to my Rumble channel? Well, why aren't you on Rumble? Because I have 10 views on Rumble right now, listening to me rant and rave about how idiotic people are. Now what? Well, you should be on Rumble, dumbass. I have one person supposedly on my Twitch account, and you are the only one that is here on Twitter. Riddle me this. So riddle me this. Why are you still here? You can't see. Dude, come on. Let me show you how it looks on Rumble right now. What the fuck are you talking about? Jeez. Can you see this facial reaction? Everybody on Rumble is gonna be. Shade says that the Rumble through the browser is best. So there you go. Now, see, that made me lose a view. I'm now down to 9. Of course, one of those. Not that. Now I'm down to 8. It's all your fault. I don't have fancy technology like you, Bruno. We need to go back to the video here. You guys are supposed to help me focus better than this. Come on now. You're supposed to help me focus better than this. All right, here we go.
All 47 cameras malfunctioned. Case closed. Apparently, the cops have body cam footage of the moment.
Okay, so
the pop.
Apparently, they were wearing.
You can't tell me
footage.
the Pelosi home doesn't have security footage. There's little chance of that. I mean, it's about one of the most secured homes in America because of her political status and her proclivity for security. So you combine the two.
Inconceivable.
There's
but Robert, a lot of
absolutely
people are
no
floating a
way
name
that
around
they're
that
going
others
to
might not be
release any
familiar
of
with.
that. It's just
I am
not
familiar
gonna
with it.
happen.
Ed Buck, do you want to give us the
So
quick and dirty?
He's a guy Democrats covered up for a long time. He would drug young black men and engage in abusive behavior towards them, and several of them died when he drugged them. I mean, it was just another one of these sort of sick perverts that dominate the Democratic Party in California, to be frank about it.
That was something
There's
else.
no other way to put it. So and the media tried to cover for Buck, and Democrats tried to cover for Buck until too many dead people showed up. And so
that's
it was those kind of, it has a weird component. It may have a sexual subcomponent. I mean, something about it doesn't add up at all.
We will see where it goes. But the fun, we're going to move over to Rumble soon. But Robert, the other fun of the day. So Hillary puts out a tweet, blames it on rhetoric, right-wing extremism. The same Hillary who says right-wing extremists are literally going to steal the next election, and then goes on to blame it on the Supreme Court justices, implying that they are also right-wing extremists, knowing what just happened with Kavanaugh, which was a legit,
I'm not sure how much further they're going to go
confirmed
into
attempt. But Elon Musk then says in response to that, there might be a tiny bit more to the story.
But I want to
and
read
links
some,
an article from the Santa Monica Observer.
I made
I suspect,
which, by the way, I'm pretty sure the Santa Monica Observer is a kind of a left-leaning publication.
I don't know. The guy who wrote the article that Musk tweeted, I forget his name now, but someone in the chat will know. He had also written an article in 2016 that Hillary Clinton had died, and it's a body double. So
they might have gone on from that. So let's go down to this was from somebody named Boris Pretzel. Let's make this larger here. I'm gonna also zoom in on it a little better. This is just the stupidity that you deal with from people on the internet, in my opinion. Thank you. About strange new man attack on Pelosi. Pelosi was most likely attacked by a male prostitute. I mean, it's possible. An unavoided conclusion about Paul Pelosi. Assailant is in his underpants. Yeah, well, let's see. Paul Pelosi knows his name and tells the police he's a friend. Assailant asks, "Where's Nancy?" to make sure she's not home. Pelosi takes bathroom break from spat and makes 911 call. Conclusion, this guy was a sex partner or male prostitute. Let's try and find, I think that I replied to this, and of course, it got majorly downvoted. Oh no, this one didn't. This comment didn't. No one noticed it, I guess. He was in his underpants because he's a no nudist and it's unhinged. Not that hard to understand. We don't know the extent of the convo we had with the intruder, and if I was him and wanted to not make him angry, would I want to refer to him as an intruder? Probably not. Another article refers to him speaking in code, and the 911 operator decided to do a wellness check. So basically, things that he was saying, she could tell that something was not right. And to me, obviously, in the course of the conversation at some point, it's not unbelievable that the guy told him his name. That, I don't understand why people find this so confusing. I really don't. Asked if she was home because his primary target was her. Duh. He was demanding to see her, but all he got was Paul Pelosi. Yeah, he read other accounts of breaking. I've read other accounts of breaking and entering, and that doesn't surprise me. The things that sometimes happen when people are being held against their will, breaking and entering, apparently, people haven't really paid as much attention to the news as what I thought they did over the last few years, or maybe social media has just become more of a thing and has amplified these stories. I don't know. Conclusion, the guy was crazy and not thinking rational. Gee, how hard was it to apply simple logic and me to recall other real-life scenarios where the intruder let the person do something like use the restroom? I swear. It's my head. Yeah, people, it's just oh my God. It's just, people are just unbelievable. They're just unbelievable sometimes. Because, it could absolutely turn out that this has something to do with him being gay, and we could end up feeling really stupid because no matter what they try to do, we can't prove it. They undoubtedly do have security footage, but again, they likely cannot release that security footage without compromising the security procedures that they have in place. They don't want people knowing just how many cameras they are. They don't want people knowing where those cameras are at. There are probably cameras. I would think they would have cameras that you can't even see. And I wouldn't be surprised if they have guards patrolling the area. But they can't be everywhere at once. So, I mean, one of the things that they gotta look through is where the breakdown in security was. But certain things of this are gonna have to remain confidential. That's just the way it is. And for whatever reason, people on the right do not seem to understand that. I don't know why. But then we have this another wonderful tweet we gotta look at. And this one comes from Monty. Sweet Monty. Oh, how we love you because you keep things interesting. So let's go ahead and zero in on this again. He made mention of this diagram on his live show, Child at the Residence. And of course, he also makes breaking glass from inside out. He doesn't appear to, let me refresh this, but he doesn't really appear to, I mean, he gets 10 times the viewers that I do, but it doesn't seem like he's gotten much traction on his, he only got 10 retweets, 34 tweets. Thank God, because it is complete and utter bullshit that where this glass broke is any proof that there was a child at the residence. How could anybody on his live stream believe this? Like, there are so many different reasons that this glass may have broken where it did. And a lot of it is going to have to do with how far away he was when he threw it, and of course how tall he is. But also think about what happens when pitchers are throwing a baseball. If you throw something underhanded, depending on where your arm is at, that's going to have a lot to do with where that ball hits and where it falls. Okay. So depending on how far away he was from this glass window, the window pane, the window of this door, whatever you want to call it, is going to have a lot to do with whether or not it hit here, or it hit there, or it hit there. It's going to have a lot to do with it. It has nothing to do with it being a child. Like, where do people come up with this shit? But that's people on the right for you. That's just the logic that they use with things. So I don't know why they get so much shit about this wrong, but they do. They get a lot of shit about this wrong. So, yeah. So, another thing that I wanted to talk about is that DOA is suddenly showing a lot of interest in Ashley Babbitt. If you're familiar with 1776 RM, and Defender of Ants, they have been protesting this group for quite a while, and there ended up being all these issues with them getting restraining orders put against them and the like. And majority of those have all gotten dismissed because all they were doing was expressing their First Amendment rights to protest in an organization. And so for whatever reason, we have on here, did you know Ashley Babbitt's last role in the Air Force was a member of the 113th Wing, the Capitol Guardians? The 113th Wing also provides a ready response force of fighters for the defense of the Columbia area. Interesting. Hashtag interesting. Hashtag paying attention. I mean, the 1776 RM has been joining in the little protests that they have at the jail, where a lot of the J6ers are being held, and it's taken them way too long to get any kind of trial. But I was very blunt with them. I am paying attention. This fact makes me yawn. I mean, if anything, I don't know, maybe it meant that she was more familiar with the layout than what some other people were. I'm not about her. I'm really not. I mean, she made a bad decision. She decided to go through an open window, and I don't know why it did not occur to her that, that could have dire consequences. But, she did. And, and unfortunately, it was a decision that cost her life. I said, I want Oreo if he is committing disability fraud, which some people have said because he has had back surgery, and they're saying that he's still on disability. But I said, I want the info forwarded to the proper authorities, would like to see the physical truth of it for myself. I've heard accusations, but that is all. And sometimes that's what Monty does. He makes a lot of accusations, but he never shows us anything physically on screen, any kind of paper trail or anything that backs up what he says. And I said, same goes for 1776 RM. If people have proof of anything illegal, provide it to the feds to investigate further. But he didn't stop there. So what else did he say here? He's been working on getting a vehicle up and running, and then they're almost through with that. Oh my God, he's saying all kinds of names here. Ashley Babbitt was a psycho. She ran the car with the girlfriend of the guy she was cheating with. I mean, that may be true. I'm sure there's probably articles that would back that story up. But again, if you're gonna make that kind of accusation, back up what you're saying. Okay, and so then we go further. Someone said, well, wow, I still won't disrespect the dead. Everyone makes mistakes. It was a mistake to go to the Capitol. Not everyone dies for their mistakes. I don't support her or any J6's actions and never will. What? That's only if she's dead? I'm leaning to not dead as new information come across the desk. Can't disrespect the living. Pretty sure I don't like Hitler even though he's dead. Just thoughts. Oh my fucking God. What the actual fuck? What the actual fuck is the matter with you? my god. Oh my god. Y'all, I need something way stronger than Pepsi right now. Unfortunately, at this time of night, I don't think there's any place open with gluten-free beer. If you're gonna say shit like this, if you're gonna say things like Ashley Babbitt is not really dead because there's new information that has come across the desk, what desk are we even talking about? You live out of a car. Then share with the class, you know? Set it up that you can edit a video together. Post whatever freaking document that you're talking about that proves that Ashley Babbitt is not dead. Don't make random claims and then be shocked when people are like, you're full of shit. Because right now I'm leaning towards the idea that you're full of shit. Let's see. And then there's some other stuff that I don't even know what exactly it's all about. Jesus, Joseph, and Mary. People on Rumble. I have at least 4 people on Rumble watching me right now. And I have supposedly 2 on one on the Most Fan Queen on my Twitch account, and 2 on Rainbow Bright's Evil Twin. I'm broadcasting to Twitter. Let me see what's going on with Twitter. I'm going with I don't get usually much action on my Twitter, so I'm gonna assume that I don't really have very many viewers on there. Going with I probably don't have any comments. Yeah, I got nothing. Yeah, I got nothing. So, but seriously, if you can explain to me what this new information, what if any information has been, because this is something that I have heard. I think Lori Arnold has also alluded to this in a Twitter in a YouTube post. That they don't think Ashley Babbitt is really dead. There was people that stood around that were around her trying to give her medical aid and watched her slowly bleed to death from a gunshot wound to her neck. There's video footage of this. And there was another thing that I saw before Anarchy Princess got kicked off of YouTube. She decided to, on Ashley Babbitt's birthday, she decided to kick and smash the flowers that Anarchy Princess, that Ashley Babbitt's family, maybe friends, whoever, decided to leave at the gate that's encircling the Capitol building. You know, it's like, show me on the doll where the flower hurt you. Regardless of what you might think about her, you can probably hear my cat. He's playing with something and going on running fits with it, and yeah, he's a cutie. I love him. Anyway, regardless of what you think of Ashley Babbitt and what she did, I am a firm believer that her mother has ran afoul of Lori, and was very rude to Lori. Got a little bit physical with her. Kind of made a bumping motion like this. Wasn't real hard, but made physical contact with her. And that was wrong. She had no basis for doing that. Hey, I can't have you knocking my crap over, okay? I jumped up onto my desk just now. I can't have you doing that, okay? All right. Saying, okay, Mom, I've had enough. Put me down. Well, don't jump up here again. Here's your toy. Go get it. I threw it that way. Why are you looking over here? Oh my gosh. My cat is sometimes as dumb as people on the internet. I love him to death. Anyway, she has every right to mourn her daughter. People are more. No one is trash. People make trashy decisions, and you know, you can't compare her to Hitler. There was a comment about Hitler. This isn't about Hitler. This is just here, people now, here, present, today. People are more than the worst decision that they've ever made. I've made bad decisions. I've done stupid things that I shouldn't have done. But my parents, if I die today, they're going to mourn me. They're, they might lay flowers somewhere or do whatever. No matter what she's done, people still have the right to do that. And I'm not sure that Anarchy Princess had any business just destroying the little memorial that they made there. I don't know. The internet, people. The internet. But seriously, if anybody can provide me with some kind of explanation of why on God's green earth Ashley Babbitt is still alive, I'm open to hearing it. I would love to know more of what this new information is that has supposedly come across people's desk. Well, let's look up here and provide proof that I actually have done some movies. Oh. Guys, do you know what it is that I found? Do you know? I may have found my IMDb. My IMDb, the official place that says I've done films, I've done movies. Whew. Super C and friends, which I'm having some issues with getting right now. 15 minutes, which actually won an award. This was 15 minutes was actually a remake of Danny, sort of. That first one definitely did not go to plan. But I'm an Actress is one that I'm really proud of. As It Appears was, I believe that one was for a competition, where you have like 1 month to make something. And then Awakening. That was the first film that I ever did, and I will confess to trying to be very, very too ambitious during that one. I'm an actress. I can play the trailer here for you. Oh my goodness, the commercials! Yikes!
Why would I want to watch an independent film made in Dayton, Ohio, when I could watch many of the other blockbusters that are out there right now? Well, let me tell you, our film has everything those films have, and more. It has drama.
You're the one calling me ridiculous.
Yeah, I am.
Are you serious?
Do you want your mocha?
Oh my god.
It has true love.
I thought I want to spend the rest of my life with that woman.
But our film also has singing. Sorry, they didn't play that clip for me before. Just fast forward through that part. That's very bad. Why is that in the movie? Our film is a heartwarming tale about a girl.
Is it a real movie?
Hold on. Is that right? It's a heartwarming tale.
Yes, it's just that.
The hell kind of movie is this? Yeah. So who wants to see another superhero movie anyway? When you could watch this movie. Hold on. It's my buddy. He got 2 tickets to go see the Superheroes vs. Zombies film. It's the ones with the thingies and like the mouth thingies and the alien. But I'm not gonna go see it because who wants to see a movie like that when you could see this heartwarming tale about families and people doing people things. So did you not want me to there's more? Did you not want me to read the rest of the scripts?
No,
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna go then because the movie starts in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's in the 3D. So the zombies they come out at you and like the things and the seats tilt back and they actually.
That's actually
come out,
my
rock back and
voice
forth, which
that
is
you
super cool.
can barely hear.
Hey, I'm gonna get IMDb credit for this, right? Is that maybe? Okay. The flyer also said there'd be food. I saw some chiclets, but I was wondering if maybe you had like a tuna wrap or something. All right, I'm just gonna go. Then. Okay.
So that was the one that I actually went to several different comic for that movie. So Mark Gainsby, I'm not sure I wasn't following your question, but if you're asking me if that's a real movie, then the answer is yes. That is a real movie. And it's not a very long movie, but maybe one day we'll have to do a watch of that. Since, according to Monty, he doesn't believe that I'm a film director. I'm kind of a semi-retired film. Let me tell you something. Making movies is stressful. Super, super stressful. And sometimes I didn't really feel like it always brought out the best of me. And it can also be, even if you did do some fundraising or whatever, and I did get blessed that way. I did have people donating and helping me make those movies. But so yeah, Monty, for saying I'm not really a film director, fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah. All right. Well, I believe that is all that we have for today. Unless I have anybody who wants to ask some further questions. Does anybody want to come on and chat with me a little bit? I can post the invite here. I have roughly 6 or 7 people watching here on Rumble. And I can post the invite here to the rest of you as well. So yeah, in case anybody on Rumble missed it, I have strong feelings about anybody ever trying to insinuate that Ashley Babbitt might not really be dead. If you have any proof, know anything about the possibility that Ashley Babbitt might actually be alive, I encourage you, click on that StreamYard link in either Rumble or YouTube and Twitch and explain to me. You don't have to show your face. We can just do voice. But yeah, explain to me why I think that Ashley Babbitt might actually be alive. Or if you care to prove to me that there was actually a child that was trying to escape the Pelosi home. Again. Oh. That picture that I showed you, where it broke, has nothing to do, has very little to do with it being a child. Very little. Yeah, you gotta imagine it like when someone throws a baseball. Okay? The way that you throw it, kind of like even if you're just haphazardly throwing something, what point you actually release it is going to have an impact on where it ends up falling. And thus, which of those window panes it ends up hitting. And yeah, how tall you are can play a role of it. But in this case, what he is showing, what that picture that I was showing you from that tweet, what it is showing, he was likely very tall. And when they released it, it just happened to hit right there in the middle because of how tall he is and when he released whatever object was thrown. And at this point, it seems like it's a possibility that Paul Pelosi himself may have picked up a hammer to try to defend himself against the attacker. There was a struggle over the hammer, and that's when he got hit with the hammer. So it's very possible that the attacker actually used something else to break the window with. Yeah. Well, it kind of looks like I don't have any more comments. If you've enjoyed my reactions as much as Riddle Me This did, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And have any thoughts on what we should cover next time? I am open to them. I believe I may have some really good interviews coming up. I'm working on something about Dominic Ramsey. I am working on something about someone who got hounded by people for some videos posted about mass shootings and all that great stuff. So stick around. There's more to come. And always remember, everybody, this might be you, and this might be the universe, but it takes a lot of these to make up this. And we all play a part, even though in the grand scheme of things we're small, we still matter. So God bless, and I hope you have a great week. Bye.